All right. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, the second I go to start, Kip was dumping his snack all over the place. I was like, oh God, it's everywhere. Never fails. Kip's like, how long till we start? There's the countdown. Let's go. Yeah, it's good stuff. So, look at that data. Look at that data. Gotta love it. Wondering if we're going to get a little surprise. And not only that, last time it was, oh, look at that. It's the problem is solved. Well, it wasn't solved. It was continuing to raise. They expected it higher. And it not only was it higher, it was double what the forecast was. So, yeah. Take that, markets. Take that, markets. Yeah. So, it's funny. CNBC was like, yeah, everyone was like, well, we'd like to see what CPI is next week, but yeah, this is disappointing, and the lady's like, yeah, we're going to see what Powell says if he's going to let us know that inflation is still here. It's like, you mean inflation growth, because inflation is absolutely still here, right? And Yellen is like, well, maybe we won't even go into a recession. It's like, lady, you're the same one that was boasting, it's going to be transitory. I believe it came from your office, and here we are 2 years later, and still combating inflation because it was not transitory. So, yeah, if you like her, I apologize. I'm not a fan. I didn't mind her coming in. I understand why she got in. I wholeheartedly disagree with why she accepted the position or why she was given the position in the first place, and she's basically turned a position that used to have great importance into something that doesn't even show up as having any importance now, and then she makes dumb comments. Make some dumb comments about things like that. Like, maybe we'll just avoid a recession altogether. Yeah. Where companies are basically doing, like, big layoffs. Everybody's cutting forecasts. And again, whether or not it was going to happen or not, companies are making it happen. And remember, and this is where it's crazy, the Fed has already said, right? And again, maybe we were at neutral before. The Fed said, we are not only going to go to neutral, we're going to go beyond neutral for what we need, right? And we're going to stay there for a substantial period of time. So even if the last month data was like, that's it, we peaked, which everybody said they were expecting the peak to be to the December number, would be the high number would be December, not November, right? They're still going to go farther because they said they are going to go beyond what neutral is and then hold it. So if we're not there yet, that means we could have 2 raises to go. So, yeah, OPEC, I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, OPEC, and here's the thing. I mean, ours is jaded. Like I said, I have, and again, this will offend somebody because it's 2022, right? I have issues with hypocrisy. Okay, that's my big issue. I saw an interesting meme yesterday. It's like you want basically for 30 years you've been trying to kill oil, right? Going into this, it's climate change. We're going to kill oil. Now, all of a sudden, that there's an issue with Russia, now you want oil companies here to produce more, okay? At the same time, we have Turkey in the news. But here's another thing. Check out this number right here. Oh, China wants more natural gas cooperation with Qatar. Why do you think that is? I know. The Middle East is sitting there with China. And what are they doing? They're cutting deals. Our inflation is not controlled. We need to continue to raise more, right? And also, meanwhile, where is it? Right here, right? Putin, hey, listen, prices are going to skyrocket. We will just stop selling to the people that want to do those price cuts, right? Who are they going to sell it to? All the people that will trade with them. So they're going to get it at a discount. Oh, those are the same people that are considered the greatest threat to the United States. Yeah, look at that, right? So we're going to go climate change, oil bad, but you need to produce more, but make no profit off of it. Sounds like some socialization or, some, government-owned companies, right? Kind of Venezuela 2.0. So again, everything you say is the exact opposite of what is actually happening, right? And then as the funny meme that I saw yesterday, like I said, I'm happy that Brittany is getting out. Again, I don't think she deserved a 9-year sentence. Obviously, I don't want to say that I am pro marijuana, but I am definitely on the side of, like, I don't care. I think it should have never been outlawed. And yeah, it is what it is. But again, at the same time, when you go to somebody else's country, you need to respect their laws. What she did was absolutely 100% illegal. Did she deserve 9 years of prison camp labor? No, I don't think so. I think that was, again, I think there was politics absolutely wrapped into it. But at the same time, I think the dude's nickname is the Merchant of Death. I kind of feel like you took the easy win for votes. Like they were like, oh, we chose Brittany over the Marine because, that was going to be harder. It's because you wanted the votes, dude. You should have got both of them home. But again, you let out the Merchant of Death. Yeah, you're anti-gun, but you just allowed the Merchant of Death to go free, right? Heart goes out to Brittany. Glad she's going home. I'm sure her family's super excited. Her family made that statement, but I'm absolutely positive that they were pressured. But at the end of the day, we just let the Merchant of Death free. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. But at the same time, gun control matters, right? I think that was actually what the meme was. I thought it was hysterical, right? It was basically Democrats should not open their mouth about, gun control when you just let the Merchant of Death out. So it's like, oh. But again, happy that Brittany's coming home. Don't get me wrong. Very happy. I don't think she deserved what she did. I do 100% though agree that you do not travel to a country and not respect their laws. Same thing in other countries. There are horrific things that are legal in other countries. If you came to the United States and did it in our country, you're absolutely going to jail, and everybody would be beating their chest that he deserves it. Sorry, you went to somebody else's country and crapped on their laws. You get what you get. It is what it is. So let's move on from that one. Anyway, PPI data blew it out of the water. Inflation is not done yet. They need to raise it more. Everything that we're doing is just, again, hurting us even more at this point. We really need the reset. We need that recession to come in. We need all this data to come back again. So all the talking heads about, look at us, we created all these jobs. No, you recovered jobs. You didn't create. You've let inflation run well beyond where it needs to be. All kinds of drama going on. And then at the same time, you're pissed off about oil. OPEC, you're right, has it right. They're talking about cuts. Putin is talking about now cutting as well, lowering the supply because that's what they're seeing on a global level. China is over in Saudi Arabia cutting special deals. They already know they got special deals with Putin, right? And now China is going after natural gas, trying to, again, why this is so substantial is because the two biggest players in natural gas are the United States and Russia. Does China have great cooperation with Russia? 100% absolutely. And who are they trying to squeeze out of the equation? U.S. The U.S. You know why? Because right now, if they can get this deal here, more gas cooperation back and forth, they can go in there and stomp Taiwan any way that they want, and the U.S. can't do jack to stop them. So, yeah. Yep, that's what we got. There's your Friday news. We absolutely should have gotten 2 for 1 for that guy. Yeah, Jeff, absolutely. Yeah, that dude's pretty bad. Like, I don't know. And is he on the sanction list? Like, have they taken his yacht yet? Because I feel like he's got to have a yacht, right? If Russia is backing a Russian arms dealer, I feel like he's got a yacht. I just want to know. If booze is legal, cannabis should be too. Yeah, and Jeff, it will be soon. Yeah, it will be soon. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Yeah, I mean it finally got approved here in Maryland, but they don't have. Again, it's embarrassing how far left we are in the state voting wise, and we just literally got legalization, right? Slot machines in elementary schools was allowed is higher on the ballot than literally an herb that grows like wild, right? Yeah, so you can see where the where the effort is put into, right? But yeah, you're right, Jeff. Yep, it's sad that the U.S. is a natural gas producer. China is afraid. Nah, it's not even something to alt supply. Understand that you cannot. There's no country in the world that can besides going with nuclear again, and Putin has mentioned plenty of that. There's no country that militarily can match us. But you don't have to match us militarily. You could literally match us economically. Right? We don't have the most people in the world. We got a lot of people that spend, but we know where that's going right now. China, India, they got plenty. Where do they get natural resources from? Australia, Russia, right? So there's plenty of nations. They don't have, and they're already cutting deals and buying up oil companies left and right because you could say that, the future is with, renewals, but the reality is oil's not going anywhere for a long time. China is not dumb. I know, China and Russia and movies and stuff, they're painted that way. They're not stupid countries, right? I mean, they're very, very smart at what they do. And again, the United States, again, this is look throughout history. Every major nation in the world, every empire in the world has the same problems, right? Eventually, ego and overreach is what caused their downfall. And we're doing nothing on a global spectrum. I mean, how many South American countries like the United States? Not many. How many Middle Eastern countries like the United States? Not many. right? Even the ones that are our closest allies, we've managed to piss off recently, right? Overseas, right? China, Russia, two biggest, producers and users in the world, and they don't like us. So yeah, it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, listen, you were pissing every single person off, and eventually that's what leads to your downfall. And again, United States, we weaponize the dollar. How can you be the international kind of settlement currency if it is now weaponized and certain countries aren't allowed to use it? You can't have that. There's got to be something that everybody accepts, right? You need a world-based currency, and it's not Bitcoin, obviously, right? And there's a large nation that is positioning themselves to take over. If they beat us to the digital aspect of it, they're using it. They're printing rules and recommendations, and the rest of the globe is looking at them. It's not us. We have, at this point, completely fallen behind. So, yeah, it's that snowball effect going in that direction. So, it will be interesting. We're going to get it in 13 minutes to see what consumer sentiment is on inflation. Now, this is expectations. This is not what real. PPI is actually a real number, so that's important to look at. We'll see where the sentiment is as far as, again, expected to be more or less even. No, we don't feed the birdies. They will bite your fingers. You eat your snack. So we'll see where it goes. Obviously, nothing tomorrow, nothing Sunday. And then Monday morning, we start the day, the week of craziness. There's a ton next week. Starting off first thing in the morning, 2 a.m., GDP, month over month for the pound. And look at this. It is forecast to be positive. Could there be some strength coming back in to the pound? Could we finally start getting that pound reversal? It's a good number, right? It's a good number. Could we get it? Sure. I think this is I think this is the kind of like the first step, right? This is kind of the first step of where we start seeing some reversals coming in. So I like this. I'm excited for next week. This week has just been so blah, and I'd be like, well, whatever, right? Next week we got a lot, especially the CPI number. Look, it's 0.3 right now. And again, I don't really care. The year over year means absolutely zero to me because, again, we were having big bursts. If we go up on the year over year, it's like, man, we got more problems. All I care about is the monthly at this point because if we are continuing to raise, we are not at neutral yet. And it's already forecast for 0.3. Man, what if this comes in at a 0.5? Woo! Poor markets on Tuesday. So, yeah, I mean, we got that. We got the CPI over here. Again, they were 11.1. We got unemployment rate. I mean, we got so much stuff next week. It's pretty exciting. I'm jacked for next week. And then after that, it's kind of like, it's Christmas, right? So this is it. Next week is it, right? That's our time. So anyway, VIX, we were holding high, and all of a sudden the data just came out. Now the data's out. We should see a little bit of reversal, but right now you're seeing things in the green from where they closed, but like it's kind of misleading, right? Yeah, it's green from where we closed, but it's not at the high of where it was in the overnight. And right now it's profit taking from the news is what we're seeing. So VIX is kind of, I would say VIX is kind of at an artificial level, right? Okay. I don't know if you can hear him like growling like a dog over here, but it's kind of an artificial level. It's not, not super concerned with it, right? I think that it probably goes down today because, like I said, the data is out. Everybody knows the data. At this point, what else are you gonna, what else can you really, what else will really affect it? Hold on one sec. What? Sorry, Asher's what, buddy? Sorry. I have to respond to this real quick. No, I think no, maybe no. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. I had to play catch up with that one. Asher's having an issue with school. A kid is bullying him, and yeah, I'm at the stage right now where Asher goes to a small private school because unfortunately the middle school that he went to is not the best. We felt like the boys were going backwards, so he's at a school where we know a bunch of kids, and it's small. There's like 13 kids in his class, but we're having an issue with a kid kind of bullying Asher, and he's coming up with like the fake sicknesses so he doesn't have to deal with this kid, and we've already messaged 3 times, and yeah. Dad is getting to the stage where I'm like, I'm going to contact the parents and let them know if his kid comes home with a bloody nose, it's because whether one son punched him in the face or the other son punched him in the face, sticking up for his brother. I'm going to tell the school, listen, I'm going to encourage my kids to commit violence if you don't take care of the problem right now. Like, tell this kid. So, after, too much personal stuff. I got it. But, yeah, Dad's getting fired up at this point. And, again, I'm going to condone violence. If this kid puts his hands on my son one more time, I'm condoning violence. Yeah. And I'm gonna encourage the boys to commit violence. So yeah, if you don't like me, sorry, don't care, but I'm done. My kids are the two nicest kids. My kids would never start a fight in the world, and one of them will probably cry if I tell him to start it. But at the same time, it's stand up for yourself. I don't care, right? Yeah. All right. So dollar mentioned to you guys yesterday, right? Look to see what the Europeans did. The Europeans were going to dictate what's going to happen. If you look to see where the European market really opened up, right here at this 3:30 time frame, and again, kind of gave us that little Harry Potter action yesterday, the Europeans shot this straight down again in time for news. So again, did the Europeans know they sent a bulletin out? They kind of know, right? They kind of know. So that was kind of the telltale sign. Now, the dollar is at a point where, again, we do have some sellers in kind of a downtrend kind of setup scenario. So, again, we will see some kind of, at this point, everybody's like, wait, well, look and see. PPI doesn't matter. It's CPI. But the data's not looking good. So, again, the market right now is like, oh, crap, right? Maybe we're going to hold. Well, let's see where we go with it. So I would expect some profit taking, but I would expect the market to start kind of adjusting. And remember, the market is probably going to send the dollar down. And the reason why is because they want to take advantage of the news release. Because we know it's coming next week. We know CPI. We know we're going to get a lot of the data for what the raise looks like and stuff. The market's going to pre-position itself to be able to take advantage of the news before the retail trader. So we know that this is coming, right? All the commodities up. Natural gas up big, right? Another 6% to the top side. Oil, again, up. We're still at 72. We're not on that 80 range, which is great, right? And like I said, I like oil prices cheap. I love oil prices. And if they could get back down to like that $40 mark where it's like, hey, listen, fracking's not even financially, worth it at this point. Like, I think that's great, right? And I've always been a big believer, stop screwing with the price of oil, start funding other advances, right? But at the same time, you know what I was thinking yesterday? I keep saying, hey, instead of sending these billions of dollars overseas, it's not making really much change. We should, put those billions of dollars into alternative research and subsidies and everything else, and really make, those things go crazy. Because again, it only helps us in the long term, right? But at the same time, look at any post-apocalyptic show, right? Like The Matrix, right? Look at The Matrix. They don't know what the real date is. We assume it's like this thing, right? Morpheus tells them. But what happened is they know that we struck first. Why? Because machines were run on solar, right? We had to block out the sun. So I feel like maybe going solar is the wrong route, maybe, right? Because every apocalyptic thing is because we're using solar energy. So maybe we don't want to kind of advance that route, but we'll see, right? Anyway. Aussie. All right, so Aussie, mentioned it yesterday. The Europeans were going to show us the way. 3:30, 3 o'clock right there. There's their open. Europeans did what? Drove it straight in. Where's the news? Right back into a level. So interesting left. That was the level that we actually marked off yesterday. This was the level yesterday morning. Actually, this was a last night level. And again, we had a confirmation test off of it right here. Right? So again, very, very easy level to see. You guys could have grabbed this one before you went to bed. Before you woke up. Literally before news at 8 o'clock this morning. 8 o'clock is right here. Nice top in there, ascending wicks, a red, green, red, everything we like to see. It drove right up from the European market up. And literally I told you yesterday, look to see where the Europeans send this. That'll tell you where the trade is. And bam, you were out almost instantaneously on this one. This was a big mover. This was about 50 pips in less than 5 minutes. It's kind of retraced back a little bit as profit taking has come in. But again, easy, simple move. There's nothing we can do with it now. The trade is over. It was in. It literally worked out just like we said, right? And again, look to see that European session. For something, big news like this, the Europeans tend to telegraph it. What are you doing? And they did. The whole thing is telegraphed. As far as where we go now, ideally, what you doing? You're proud of yourself over there. Ideally, I would say this one, I would expect it to kind of deteriorate a little bit more as the market's like, holy crap, they're going to continue to raise interest rates, which The Fed has been telling us that that's what they were going to do anyway. So I don't think it doesn't really change the trajectory of what I thought, but I think that this one continues to roll back to the downside right now. We should see it roll back down. Are we going to get down to our profit target? Probably not today. That's quite a bit of run. Talking about 60 pips to the downside. It's kind of a lot, right? Kind of a lot. I don't think we can get all the way down, but I think I think it continues to move that way. More curious right now to see where if we can hold something at 10 o'clock, because obviously there was a zone here. That's we kind of got blown through and then grabbed that zone on the second time. Wondering if we can get everybody trying to get short right now the dollar, right? Or everybody trying to get long the dollar right now. Obviously, that's why this one is kind of stabilizing right now. If by some chance, if we do manage to hold and kind of come back up again, this could be a potential for a Sunday night in that one. I think it's a slim possibility, but if it does rally back up there for a Sunday night, then yeah, there's probably a short that wouldn't be bad. I think overall, getting short the Aussie dollar going into Sunday night is probably a decent shot. Just because, again, with all the CPI, with the raise, everything else, with the pre-market positioning, knowing that they're going to probably say that, hey, listen, I mean, just reaffirming what they've already told us, not changing trajectory, but just staying with the trajectory. We should see the Aussie dollar come back down again, particularly with the Aussie news. So again, if we do pull back up again, there could be another potential setup there. But unfortunately, right now for Friday, that trade is already in and done. I mean, again, I told you yesterday, look at it at 8:30. It rallied right back up into a zone. The risk on this one was rather small. It was like 8 pips. It just blew through in the other direction. I mean, great, easy trade setup. One that everybody should have been able to kind of grab for this one. All right. All right. Let's switch this over. All right. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen also had a very similar path. This one kind of took more of a 10:30 reversal, kind of a flat open, right? The 3 o'clock candle was already driving down. It was into a level here, which again, we saw the buyers in there. We knew that they were there. Kind of pulled back up, and again, it is now rallied, and this is more of a yen play than anything else right now. And you can see the major chop of the actual news candle. It was a red candle, went all the way up, all the way down, and really just kind of found buyers here, sellers here. For this one, I kind of want this one to rally. I'd like this one to get up to that 92.83. Nothing's really changed with it. Right now, there's not enough trajectory in this one to really try to change much. Yesterday morning, we were sitting right here. So the reality is, let's see, where's the 10:30 candle? The 10 o'clock candle. 10 o'clock candle's right here. We are 4 pips from where we were this time yesterday. A little bit of up, a little bit of down, and we're right back in the same area. So, again, I do like this one up top. Again, the 61.8 is a great way to kind of front run this one. This 92.83. If we can rally back up, it's very similar to what we're seeing in the Aussie dollar. I think that's a great Sunday night short on this one to take this and turn and roll back down. And it's about 17 pips worth of risk, which is really not that much, particularly in something that is associated with the yen. So there's your trade for Sunday night. Going into the euro dollar. Now, the euro dollar, you can see Europeans right here send it up. And we knew we already had a zone here, kind of an old zone. It got front run yesterday, and kind of we were talking about this one being boxed in and it had some problems. Europeans sent it up. It wasn't really in a great zone. I mean, I guess, like, again, if you were really like, oh, there's the high, there's the low, where's it at? Yeah, it was right around kind of the 50 right here at that 8:30 time frame. I think that's a little bit riskier. I would have much rather seen some really kind of true levels in that. And again, the Aussie was such an easy trade to grab. The Aussie was a much better one. But the result is the same. I mean, it literally just hammered right back down. If you did get short this one, you had the same type of run. This was kind of a big run under the downside, about 66 pips, like instantaneously. And now it's kind of choking back and forth again. Now, we do have a Harry Potter trade over here. And again, we were kind of hoping we'd be down there before today's news release. But now this gives us all the minimum we need. Again, 1, 2, 3, kind of a fourth front run on this one. So we're in the right proximity of when failures happen. I think right now this one really is kind of more of probably a Sunday night based trade at this point. I don't think we're going to go down, have enough time to retrace it and everything before the end of the market today. If you're still in this one, again, keep a close trail. Don't lose money on this one, but the market is obviously already the downside. But again, kind of the same thing. Europeans sent it up. We held right before news, smash back down again, right? Impulse, correction, / pre-positioning, impulse move down. And now we're getting profit taking and corrections coming into the market. So, yeah, nothing earth-shattering with that one. Pound yen. All right, look at this. We're already starting to see the pound strength come in. Now, we are pushing this one much, much lower down. I think this one probably stabilizes and ends pretty soon. The problem with this one right now is, again, European market is almost closed. We got about 2 hours to go. Question is, can we hit the level? Sure, we can. Is it going to give us enough time for a kind of a confirmation bounce and have enough time to go full blown, profit target? I don't know. It's kind of a little more difficult of a setup, I think. But again, Sunday night, could it be good? Yeah, it could be decent. We know Monday, again, we got that pound data early on. Question is, what does the Sunday night, what does the Sunday night look like? If we open down on this level here on Sunday night, we know that there's data sitting right here. So let's put some marks on here just so you guys can get a good view of this one. There's where the data is. Sunday opens up right there. So starting right there, this is where we got to see. If we can be down here, is it possible that we go up? Sure, and that would be a pound strength-based move. So if we open down in this level, is there time to move 28 pips from the time that data comes in to pre-position? Sure, I think so. Vice versa, if we do not pre-position, if we stay low here, could this be a European weak release? I'm sorry, a pound weak release. It could. This could come in at a 0.2 while still positive. That's less than expected, which would be pound weakness, which would also set us off to the top side. So very important level, 2 potential scenarios, one for Sunday night, and then obviously one for news at 2 a.m. in the morning. And again, do you need to be up at the European release? Nah. By like 10, 11 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time, we should know if that one's going or not going, based off of where it is. At 6 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock when the market opens, we should start to see movement immediately. And over like the next 5, 6 hours, you'll see pre-positioning happening. If it's going to happen. If it's not going to happen and it's just going to hold, we're going to see that also. So I think either scenario could be great for Sunday night on this one. This is absolutely on my radar list and one of the ones we should be looking at. Now, Euro Yen. I'm liking Euro Yen. Again, we drove down, we reversed it with that news again. That's more of a yen play. We're still kind of in the same range, right? Yesterday we were sitting right here. The 10:30, the 10 o'clock candle is right here. We are 2 pips away. Do I have Euro Yen up here? No, I have pound yen. Yeah, we're basically in the same spot. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This level's probably smoked with the same problem that we had yesterday. There's not really a great level here. So I think this one's going to have some problems. Again, an easy kind of high-low fib is going to be here. You're going to see the 50% pulling in. There's stuff in there. There's one at the 78.6. Right now, this one is being dominated by the yen. I think it probably has more likelihood that it's going to go probably reverse and get some profit taking from the yen. What do we have European news next week? Let me see. None. Just give me the euro. Where is it? The euro. Thursday, Friday. So yeah, so it looks like this is going to be a counter currency for most of the week. Yeah, probably more counter currency than anything else. So yeah. So again, it's got to get through 2 decent levels that were formed, and really, I mean, there's the one here, and we tagged it, right? You got one there, and then this one right here. If you want to draw like another one, you got one there. So there's 2 different levels on the top side that this one needs to chunk through, right? And again, 40 pips and 66 pips. So take it for what it's worth. There's been some better opportunity. If we can continue to rally up, I think either of those could be good sells on Sunday night or potentially Monday morning. So, yeah. Pound dollar. Yet again, European market drove us up. There's your 830 number. And again, 786. I'll put it here. Whoops. I'll steal this one. There is your wick over wick. You can see it right here. There's your wick over wick. There's your 78. There's your European drive up. There's 815. Right. We'll just draw this. The risk is 15. Do we like 15? Yep. 1 to 3 is right there. So you can see how fast that one went out. So do I like 786? Nah, but if you're going news-wise, the Europeans sent it straight up into a level. We know the 786 is a level that people look at. James is a big 786 person. I don't like it. But there's a wick over wick. So again, dialing that in and getting a true risk level on it, getting 15 pips worth of risk on the pound yen with the Europeans telltailing it, heck yeah, you take it. And again, same thing. I expect this to deteriorate down again. By the way, here's the 50 we talked about coming through. The Europeans, by the way, overnight came back down and grabbed it. So much, again, whether you took this Harry Potter move or you took this test, again, the old level that was broken became the new level in the opposite direction. So a lot of stuff going on with the yen, but the pound. I do see this one continuing to go lower. Now that we hit the 78, we're going to remove this. We're going to run it in the opposite direction, low to high, because that's going to matter. That's ugly. It's ugly there, and it's a test. So it's like, I think probably this is probably a little safer. A little safer. And the reason I'm drawing this one is because of this. Right. There's your news. Right. There's your news. Buddy, what are you doing? Buddy, you're going to make stuff fall down. What are you doing? You're going to make that go boom. Yeah, it's going to go boom. What are you eating? No. I don't even know where you found that from. You have all these chips. Eat the chips. All right? Eat the chips. Sorry. So, yeah, expect this one to continue to go down again. I think it probably has problems here at the 50 at 122 flat. That's right where the confirmation is. I doubt we can get through that today. That's about 55 pips down. What? What do you want? What you want? It's about 55 pips from where we are right now. So, here. Here. But I think, again, this could be a great option. What? I think that's a great opportunity right there for us to be able to get this one long for news on Monday morning. And again, looking at Sunday night, if we can continue to deteriorate down, that could potentially give us a great little trade. If it pulls away from it, again, it's going to be the exact opposite. I honestly think, again, I think the pound is due for some positive data, but I think this one has a high chance of disappointing. I doubt it comes in directly at 0.4, and how people take that, I think also matters. All right, pound yen. Look at that one. So here's where we were late last night. Yesterday morning, we're sitting right here. We talked about the 167 being another trade. Here's your cup. No, we're not here to pound the keyboard. Problem is, so Kip is growing. I used to be able to put him on my lap, and he couldn't reach the keyboard if I pushed it too far away. Well, his arms are growing now. Now he can hit it. No, stop. So again, 2 more touches. Great little trade. You can see it got stopped out here, or if you missed it, if this one pip at you, you could have grabbed it on down here. It didn't. It went past, but you never know what people's what? This? You never know what people's brokers look like. So you may or may not gotten here, but here you absolutely got out. And again, Europeans kind of set this up ahead of time, and then boom, took it off. So, and again, would this been another short? No. There's your 1, there's your 2, there's your 3, there's your 4. This is a 5. It's absolutely no. Right now, the next level that we really have for this one is coming up top. I think positioning yourself for the pound yen. Whoops, not that one. No, we're not going to put it in my coffee either. Here's where the data comes in. So we got some room to run on this one. About another 40 pips. Can this move 40? Stop. Sorry, he's trying to put stuff in my coffee now. You guys know how I love my coffee. The yen will continue to dominate this one the rest of the day, and the pound won't really have much influence into it. This upper level here, I think it's a level to watch out for. I'd look for it to potentially have a reversal before the news. But I think if we're looking for, again, if we're not seeing much movement in the Sunday overnight, stop. If we're seeing kind of movement in the overnight, that is signifying that we could potentially be getting a short. I think this is a level that we can use. It's right at 168. So again, it is a psychological number. It's not it's not a 5 or a 0 ending, and 8 is not as great, but it still ends in a double zero, and it happens to be, again, right here, the 78.6 sitting right on 168 flat. I think that says something. So I do think it's a potential reversal area. It could potentially happen today, but if we haven't broken through or we put a new top in here, this is absolutely something that could be used, in my opinion, on Monday morning for a trade there. So keep that on your radar. If you guys are in this one, again, there's where the official out is, but if you need it a little bit more, you got it right there. Again, that was from yesterday morning's trade, and again, it was 20 for 60, so not a bad little setup. Dollar CAD. Look at the craziness of dollar CAD. Here's the European session open, right? The 4 o'clock window. Europeans sent it straight down, right? 7:30, 8 was right here. Took off, ended up grabbing the levels that we talked about yesterday. It doesn't matter which one you talked about, right? Either one of them hit, right? Boom, boom, boom. And there's what your reversal looks like. You can have that. You can grab that. Just stop hitting the keyboard. So dollar CAD's in a spot, and again, dollar CAD's weird because it's definitely dollar strength coming in, but with the commodities, and particularly oil up 1%, it's kind of like strong dollar, strong. It's strong. Stop, Kip. Now we're using our feet to touch the keyboard. Right. So as far as dollar CAD goes, love the fact that we got a bounce late last night. Again, we came back down again yesterday morning. We pulled away. We hit it again. That is awesome. I love it. I think this new level of basing is kind of what we're looking for right now. I still think this 135.62 is where we're looking for this to break. Right now, the big question is, though, it's going to be a strong dollar kind of trend for the next couple of days. Can we really get this to kind of roll? I think that's going to depend a lot on oil. Now, we do have Canadian data next week. Let me go through and let's review that real fast. Take this off. Where's CAD? Right here. You can see Monday morning early. Macklin is speaking, talking. What are you doing? What? This? Take that. You're not getting the staples. This kind of sets us off Monday morning talking about what's going to happen next for. No, you're not getting that whole thing of staples. Not going to happen today. This kind of sets us off for Monday morning. So, again, I think there's a lot of kind of geopolitical factors that are in play right now for this one. I think oil will be the next big one to drop, but it's kind of, like I said, I think we're going to see strong oil. I think we're going to see strong dollar. So this one is going to be a little bit more challenging, in my opinion, to play next week. Again, I'd like this Harry Potter here. If we can get that low, and again, if Powell makes any statement whatsoever, any statement that has anything that could be construed as weakness, that, oh, you know what, maybe we're going to pause after this, we're good, I think that's where we go through when we break this 135. I think right now, with all the data, it's really hard to kind of be like, yeah, we're going to pause. Inflation has probably peaked because nothing right now is showing us that it has. Unemployment is not kind of where it needs to be. Yeah, it needs to be up in the 4.6, 4.7 range is what I think we're supposed to be at, or where they think they needed to take it. Right now we're at 3.7, so we have an entire percentage point to go on there, and that's not what people want to see. Stop. So as far as where this one goes, again, I think we have the reversal potential if we come up here on Sunday night. And again, that'll be Europeans kind of setting it down. I would expect dollar weakness sometime in the next 4 days to roll in. Reason why is because I expect the market to prepare for a hawkish statement, CPI numbers coming in. And again, it's been such, what do you want? You can have that. There's been so much kind of dollar weakness belief, but I don't think it's, again, I've been saying it's not justified the entire time. I'm not sure why the market believes it. But maybe the market listened now. I don't know. The market believed that inflation was transitory, and I didn't fall for that one either. So, nah. Yeah, exactly. Nah. Here. What's this? I don't believe in transitory inflation either, Kipster. All right. Where are we at here? Dollar Swiss. Okay, dollar Swiss. Same thing. Europeans sent it down. It was basing at a level that we had talked about yesterday. There were buyers there, but we were kind of concerned about it, right? All it did was it launched itself out of there, as it should have, right? As it should have, but it was a level that would have been hit here, front run here, hit here, and grounded through. It was like, The Aussie was a much better trade, right? You take the Aussie. You take the best-looking one. What? Then get down. Here, get down then. There. I'm not keeping you in my lap. Makes it easier this way for me, buddy. So again, it going up exactly like it should. And again, right off that 130 area. Like I said, you take the best opportunity that exists. This was not the best one. It did do the same exact thing that everybody else did, so play it like you will. We are low in the curve right now, so I do like this one to recover a little bit, particularly against the Swiss. What, buddy? What? I don't know what. Right now, Swiss going in next week. I mean, if we take an easy kind of high to low draw right here, you can see the 50. There's not really a lot there. It's slowing down. What, you want me to take this one? Here, what if I put it on this? Ooh. Wow. I love little kids. They're so easily amused. I don't love this one. Like I said, I think this one continues to break through. We talked about it yesterday. A breakdown here of 92.90 is really kind of what our next step in this one is. And again, can we get the... Here, you do it now. Can we get the weakness in? I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I think the market pre-prepares for it. Whether we can kind of have it crash all the way back down in the 92 levels, I don't know. That's a little bit farther. So a little bit much there. But like I said, I like the Aussie and the pound much better than I like the Swiss right now. Again, pretty simple. Price came down. European sent it straight down. 830 came out, shot it straight back up again, kind of as expected. But I will say right now, if you take a high to low off that move, you can see we're right at the 50 percentile right now, and there's basing here, and guess what? There is confirmation. So do we see a rollover in the dollar yen? I think there's potential for it. It could happen, right? Now would be the time. Now would be the level. And again, it is at a confirmed level. So, we're at that close proximity. So not much else to say, right? It's there. Kipster, what are you doing? What are you doing, Kip? Yeah, so what a trade looks like here. This is a rather small one, but question is, this is going completely against what the feeling is. But again, where do we look for switches? Confirm levels at areas of major fib levels. Why? Because people are looking at that, as well as 10:30 in the morning. You can't see that low, but we're 10:12. We're at reversal time. Been straight up since news. Profit taking reversal Friday. Session rollover. Confirmed area of supply and a fib level. Those are the times where you take a risk. So, and it's small. It's like 19 for 60. So not big. Again, if you're concerned about it, wait for it to actually leave in the other direction, right? Or wait for it to pull back and then come back and use that level again later. You may miss it when it does that, but again, that's trading. You trade with the level of risk you can take. And again, just so everybody understands too, I got a comment about that, right? We talk about different entries, right? There's an entry when it hits the level, right? There's an entry when you get confirmation in the level, right? Is a potential another one. Or there's also a level when it leaves. There's also an entry when you leave. So a lot of this depends on your level of risk tolerance, right? And again, different kinds of setups call for different kinds. Sometimes, trend continuations, number ones are pretty good. Sometimes where you're looking for reversals, you like to have number threes, but then that lowers your chances. Sometimes you're waiting for that confirmation in the zone, and sometimes it leaves, but it's kind of more of it's kind of in the zone type thing. They're all same. They're all personal preference. There's not one that necessarily is better than the other one. They all have pros and cons. So you trade them how you see fit. What? You want to come back up on my lap? Come here. Come here. What you doing? Right? What you doing up here? Come on, buddy. We got like 5 more minutes to go. So that's what that looks like. Crypto's down as they should. Doji up. Again, kind of a fool's game right now. TLT taking a big hit as it should. What? This? Or you want this? Which one? There. So TLT, obviously, yesterday we talked about maybe having a top in there, and we did. Nice little run back down again, about $2 or $1.50 at this point. I think this one continues to deteriorate as people are like, oh crap, they're going to raise interest rates again. Don't know why people felt like they weren't going to, but I think this one turns and rolls, or just continues to push to the downside. Let's go to oil. So, oil. Technically, oil looks like it is up. The reality is, oil's not really up. We talked about 72.70 yesterday. We came through slice, kind of put a new bottom in. Actually, this needs to be adjusted just a little bit. Just a bit outside. Right there, right, is kind of where the new adjustment needs to go to. It went just a little bit lower. it's 11 o'clock on a spike is what kind of put it there. I'd say that oil right now, again, more trending sideways. I think there's some headlines coming for oil. As I said, yeah, you think so, buddy, huh? You like oil? You're into oil right now? My take on oil right now is it's becoming a geopolitical commodity. And I think I don't think we're done with it. Is kind of what I'm going at. I still think it ends higher on the year. At this point where it is, it's going to take quite a spike in the next couple of weeks to get there. Again, OPEC talking about cuts, Putin talking about cuts. I'm not going to sell it to countries. Like, what does that look like if they, again, if they just suddenly say that's it, you think you're going to cut it? Great, we're selling it for this. If you want to buy it, great. We're just not going to send it to you. It's fine. Where are they going to be able to get the other? Again, anytime you lower supply, there's more of a pull on it. Eventually, countries are going to jump, right? If you have to spend $85 a barrel for U.S. oil or non-Russian oil, but you could buy Russian oil for $75 because that's what the market price is, or $72, right? At what point do your loyalties not matter, right? Eventually, that number will come to fruition, and again, eventually, other people's ideals aren't going to matter, right? Eventually, it will change. So I think oil where it is right now, I think it probably has some room to run. I think they're going to start talking about supply cuts, what they look like. I think there's going to be more to the story. So I would say, from now till the end of the year, I'm probably more bullish on oil. I'd love for it to come down to $40. I think that would be awesome. I would love $1.99 gas again. That would be great. I'll go out and buy like an H1 Hummer that gets like 4 miles per gallon. Totally on board. But yeah, right now, I'm more in the EV Denali or the ED Silverado or whatever the heck it's called. I'm more in that camp right now than I'm in the. Although I will say the EV Hummer 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, I could be swayed. Right? And again, still no Cybertruck. So natural gas. Not necessarily surprising. Again, natural gas took off this morning. We are above the gap. I am actually surprised that we got a little bit through. We punched through that gap, and it may have been kind of like the just the morning kind of trend of things. Typically, that gap holds pretty well. I do think that we are probably at a reversal time frame. But again, China looking at other forums and Russia making comments, and, I think we're in an interesting spot. If we are up here, I do think, what? You want the mail? Here, take the mail. Take this. No, take this. Here, why don't you draw? Here, why don't you draw? Here. There, look, you did that. Look. Yes, you can draw. Probably an area where there's a top. I mean, here's where we ended Friday last week. We're back up. So all this movement, we talked about getting short last week. There was a great short play, reversed all the way back up again. So really no movement has happened. I think, again, as much as it is right now, I think short natural gas is probably the play next week. And again, it'd be the same thing. Hopefully it's not as big of a gap. But if we can get a pullback like this, same gap and a pullback, I think this 621 is probably a decent level. I'm kind of surprised it went through the gap right here. But again, it's a parabolic move. This may be the top that we go look at going into the weekend, and then we look for a turn and roll back down again. And again, this marker right here, by the way, is Friday to Sunday, right? That's your Friday to Sunday mark. Gold. I think we mentioned this one yesterday. European session. We talked about 1800 was going to be a nice little level. You can see that it peaked up a bit. We didn't get to the 1806, which have been really, really nice. And boom. Gold's technically up, but is it? Not really. It's up from where it closed, but it's been nothing but straight down since that news came out, as it should be. And will continue to deteriorate today. I'm kind of hoping all this, I'm kind of hoping like all this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. I'm hoping we got buyers a step in here, buyers a step in here. I want gold higher. I really want gold higher. I want to be able to get in the gold next week. I want to be able to get short next week. So yes, I 100% agree. It should be going down right now. It was a very easy short, but I want it higher next week. I think that the data comes out next week, and I think, I think people are going to be like, wow, I think they are going to raise 2 more times, right? I think that's just the path we're heading on. So I would like to go high so the market pre-position this one, but hopefully we're able to get short on this one. Silver looks exactly the same. Right? We talked about it was going to be very important. I even drew it on here. Right? It was going to be important to see what happens in this orange time frame. I'll remove it. So it's a little easier to see. Right? Here's actually, let's put this 23. The text, put it on the right. Whoops, not the left. Right? European market right here. What did it do? Whoops, not that one. This one. Straight up. There's our level up top. Again, quite a large level. Right. And there's your short. Right. Right there. So now, problem is it does have to go through some buyers here at 23. And the reality of this one is, I'll remove these two things real quick. Buddy. Here's where the profit target should be taken. Can we get all the way back down there for today? Potentially. At this point, like I said, it was a short opportunity. Of the two, I think gold was a little bit better of a setup on this one, but it did the same thing. I mean, honestly, the best one out there was the Aussie dollar. It was the cleanest of all of them. That was the one that I liked. But this is no different. Europeans literally sent us higher for news, already sitting in a level that we had predetermined before. And again, remember, this was kind of a crappy level up top, but that's what we ran into, right? And actually, they did it off the, even if you use just the wick, look at this. Had you use just the wick, which I tend not to do because it's a really poor, I hate the way this candle was printed. There to there is actually where the candle is. So I still don't think you hit 1 to 3. I think it was close. 1 to 4.6, 1 to 3 is right there. So right at that 23 mark. So it looks like we're getting pretty close to it. We'll see what this last little kind of push does before the market closes. So, not bad. As far as indices go today, I mean, everything looks like it is super positive. Everything's in the green. Yeah, from the close, right? From the close. But this is the same kind of scenario. Every single one of these, we talked about levels up here of sellers. And again, we hit it. We're waiting for the news to come in. And we said, hey, listen, we're right here for news. We're looking to sell. And that's where news came in. 8:30 was literally the top. As far as opening print goes, this was too big of a data to be trading opening print. The opening print, I'll drop it to a 15 so you can see it. The opening print would have occurred right here, right? Are we interested in that one? Nah, not really, right? Not so much. Again, we would be looking to get this one short, and this one was pretty easy. I mean, there's your basing, right? There's your basing right at the top, right? And just boom, straight back down again, and immediately retrace to get everybody's profit. And target-wise, again, your target should have been sitting right there, and that's what we hit. So again, doesn't qualify, right? What are you playing with? What are you doing? No, we cannot put that on the floor. What are you doing? Pretty easy, like I said, pretty easy trade setup. The PPI was already expected to be good. We thought it was going to come in more positive than expected, and it did. I mean, it's not much to say about it. NQ looked exactly the same. Okay. Europeans came in here. European market, news. Profit target. Right there. Right? So pretty easy. Same setup. YM. European market. European market, news. Profit target. Right? Pretty simple. Russell. European market. Oops. I don't know why that was like that. There's your opposing zone. And again, actually, technically, I guess this one, there's your first profit target, but either way, both of them were hit. 1,800 is the big number down on the Russell. Go ahead. So all the same thing, right? All of them are same. None of them were setups. Again, PPI is one of the big five. You really don't want to mess with something like that, particularly inflation-based right now. So, yeah, I mean, it's, pretty easy day, guys. I mean, there's not much to say about it. I mean, everything right now, it's like, oh, my God, the markets are in the green. This is awesome, but not really. I mean, this is where the markets were pre-market and then just got hammered. So, yeah, it's different from where we were yesterday, but is it a positive day? Nah, not really. And right now, everybody's trying to get negative, so that's why it's starting to creep back up again. So, we'll see. Overall, in the indices, I kind of hope that we do get higher. I kind of want them to be back in those same levels. I think that would be great. Yeah, being up in those levels, I think would be awesome. right? Oops. Gives a good good opportunity to what are you doing, buddy? To get short next week on Sunday. I do think it is going to be a week where Powell's going to be like, yeah, we told you before, guys, we're doing 50-50. Like, I've been telling you the same thing, and just because you choose not to listen because you don't like what I have to say doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. I don't know. This was this. All right, so that's it for today. Like I said, be prepared. Next week is a big week, the last one before the holiday. So there's a lot in here, and a lot of good stuff too, right? I mean, this is a big turning point for the pound. Bailey speaking 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Great CPI for the U.S. Obviously, we know all eyes are going to be CPI at this point, particularly this month over month and the core in there. I don't really care. I don't know why nobody cares about the year over year. I guess politicians care about the year over year. Look, it's working. Nobody cares. This is what I want. This is what has to be halting, right? Do it over 2 years and see what it looks like, and you're not going to be happy. And then obviously we have CPI for the pound, and again, their numbers are just astronomical. It's huge. FOMC raising rates on Wednesday. We got some GDP for New Zealand to see where that's moving. Unemployment rate in Australia, that could be a great trading response. Again, we bounce here and then reverse at 7:30 at night. We have the Swiss also talking about policy changes. That could be a great dollar Swiss-based trade. Again, 1 day removed from the U.S. raising, and then we have the pound raising there. Actually, right now, the pound is not showing anything, but I think the pound is raising 0.5 this week also. The euro coming back in again. I'm expecting the euro to put a raise. There's no forecast, but I think that's a 0.5. And we got retail sales coming in after that. I mean, 7, 8:15, 8:30. And then Friday, again, a lot of people are done for vacation after that. I know my kids are done. That's all of our services data. And look at it. The services data, everything is below 50 right now, showing contraction. Could we get anything that bumps above? I don't know. So, again, big week next week. So, again, do your homework this weekend. Make sure you guys are, again, when the markets are closed is the best time to do your analysis for the upcoming week. There's a lot of stuff out there. Again, a lot of 4-hour analysis needs to happen this week. All right. Yeah, buddy, I see. Don't poke me in the eye with it. Let's go ahead and do our drawing. Eki won yesterday, right? Who are we missing here? We got Ernest is missing. Sean's in upstate Michigan, so, I mean, he could be under 6 feet of snow right now. So, we're not going to do that. Let's see. Who else are we missing? I feel like we're missing out somebody else besides Sean. Will's in there. No Ernest today. I don't know. All right. So I guess it's going to be an easy day. We'll see if Eki is able to repeat today. Pretty close, right? All right. Winner of today's drawing is Will. Will. Look at that. I don't know. I feel like, yeah. I feel like it is rigged, right? Buddy, what are you doing? Stop. No. Here, with this? You can have this. All right. Let's go over there and give Will his, Will dominating that first place. Dominating. All right. So, just count that as a 3 in a row. I know, Will's like, just count that. Will, when was the last time you did get a 3? I feel like you got a 3 not too long ago, right? Did you get one, like, September, maybe October-ish? I feel like you did get a 3 recently, Will. Or maybe you got stopped on the 3, like Neuro screwed it up and stopped you on a 3. I feel like you got a double and then got stopped, man, maybe. I feel like we were talking about it, like you were running. I think the 3-peats this year. I think Marina has had the most. I think Marina's had 2 or 3 of them. Marina or Debbie, one of them has had 3s. So, don't know. All right. Hey, with that said, you guys have a great weekend this weekend. Hopefully the weather is good where you guys are going to be. If you guys take any advice that I give you guys, next week is a very, very big week in trading. There is so much news. There is so much, again, that happens the week before Christmas. This is where next week is the week where the big moves happen. Okay, so again, take advantage of this one. Understand everything that we talked about today. And I'll go back with the Aussie dollar. This is not 45 minutes. Yes, Kip. This is literally what we're looking for every single news release next week. Okay, this is the simplest thing. Daily FX just did a thing. It's like, oh, can you trade news events? No, it's like, that's bull. You absolutely can. I told you guys yesterday, look for the European kind of context about what's going to happen when the market news comes in. There's so many opportunities next week for the same exact play. Look for the session below to drive it to where price is ahead of time, and then look for the movement of where it goes. But where it all happens from is the original homework, and that's gonna happen this weekend. So. Stop. Here, you're not going to mess the tape up. With that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys on Monday morning. You guys all have a great, safe weekend, and I'll see you then. Take care.